news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio. Story all across Nigeria. We bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV.
A very good morning to you. Interesting edition of your favorite program, this time of 24 News Radio and television, today in the dailies. My name is Olushola Oyewole. Welcome you on board alongside my colleague.
Good morning.
And how are you this beautiful Monday morning?
Very well.
Yes, we have the usual lineup of papers for your listening pleasure. Talking about the Daily Post, the Punch, Tribune, the Vanguard, the Guardian, and even Sahara reporters. I'll be bringing this to your way right after I will bring you a couple of headline stories this morning. Grace, back to you.
Yes, the lineup. This one from Vanguard. Why Obi El-Rufai haven't joined ADC yet? Kenya governor rather escapes death road accident. Rejects appointment of SDP acting chairman. Queries constitutionality. 2027 LP crisis. Coalition uncertainties worry Obi supporters. Court orders Unilag to reinstate sacked lecturer. Late Awujale stood for a validation of June 12 polls. Tinubu. These and more will be coming your way in the course of this morning newspaper review.
Yes, like Grace said, we'll be bringing you the stories more this morning, but not before this time out. Just stay with us. We'll be back with us. For the Daily Post, and those who are supposed to be in charge of our security are now up in arms protesting. Anxiety as retired police officers Showore, stage mother of all protests in Abuja, others. Presidential candidate of African Action Congress, AAC, in the 2023 elections, Omoyele Showore, and other actors to stage a protest in Abuja on Monday, that's today, to demand improved welfare for personnel of the Nigerian Police Force. Simultaneously, members of the Nigerian Union of Retired Police Officers will be picketing the National Assembly complex and the force to demand their removal from the contributing, which they described as a discrimination scheme. The retired officers claimed that they have been pushed to the wall by the government's unresponsive attitude to their yearnings about what they tagged discriminatory pension scheme. From on that story, check it out from the front page of the Daily Post under the headline, Anxiety as with officers should be arrested, mother of all protests in Abuja, others.
And from the Vanguard, why Obi El-Rufai haven't joined ADC yet? Democratic Congress yesterday, ADC addressed the delay in the full membership of the 2023 presidential candidate of Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and former Kaduna State Governor Malam El-Rufai in the party. This came as former Director General of People's Democratic Party (PDP) Governors Forum, Mr. Sid Maduabum, resigned from the PDP and joined the ADC. Chieftain of the All Progressive Congress in Delta State, Chief Ari, has dismissed concerns that former Deputy President Senator Ovie would ditch the APC for the ADC ahead of the 2027 general election. For more on that, the newspaper is your guide.
Another front page story today. This one is coming from the Punch, and it says, "Race to 2027. PDP's flag bearer battle begins after Atiku's exit." With the race for the People's Democratic Party's 2027 presidential ticket underway, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar's exit has cleared the way for Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, and other hopefuls seeking to challenge President Bola Tinubu, the reports. Reliable PDP insiders who spoke on condition of anonymity confirmed that the presidential ambitions of Makinde and Bala were well known among key party stakeholders. Another party revealed that the PDP remained open to any aspirant willing to contest for the presidential ticket in line with the party's constitution. There's a lot more you'll find in the Punch this morning. Under the headline, Race to 2027, PDP's flag bearer battle begins after Atiku's exit.
And this one says Katsina Governor Rada escapes death in accident on the Daura Kassel Road earlier yesterday evening. Governor's chief press secretary was on official duty when the incident occurred. In a statement, Mr. Mohammed said the governor is in good health, sustained no injuries, and remains in high spirit. For the full report, Vanguard newspaper is your guide.
Let's now quickly go back to the Daily Post, where there's a report that says Yoruba history wouldn't have been completed if I'd failed in last election. And that's the incumbent president speaking, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Bola Tinubu has said that the history of the Yoruba race would not have been completed had he failed in the last election. The president made the remarks on Sunday at the 8th-day Fidel prayers for the late Awujale of Ijebu land, Obasikiru Kayode Adetono. Adetono, a longtime friend of former President Muhammadu Buhari,
That the signature of the letter did not match the specimen in its record. For the full
let's now take the first story for the day from the Sun newspaper, with one that says OB Okwebo qualifies state open to all Nigerians, but protocols will follow up to a presidential hopeful Peter Obi precisely was banned from. Now he's at governor and 2020 presidential candidate of the Labour Party LP, Mr. Peter Obi, is not welcome in the state without his approval. In separate reactions, the African Democratic Congress AD, human rights lawyer, and senior advocate of Nigeria Femi Falana, and the Ogbako Indigbo Nile worldwide knocked the governor. The Edo State government has, however, clarified that Governor Okwebolo did not issue any form of threat to Mr. Obi, but only emphasized the need for high-profile individuals, particularly politically exposed persons, to notify and seek security clearance before embarking on any public engagements within the state. Well, from on that, the Sun newspaper is where you find it this morning, under the headline, and Obi Okwebolo clarifies stand. Says state open to all Nigerians. Protocol
2023 election, Peter Obi are expressing concern over the party's leadership tussle and growing uncertainty over whether the coalition of opposition parties will fill the founding leaders of the obedient movement. The presidency quest, Dr. Catch on Onuju told Van yesterday that the ex-Anambra state governor will, if President Bola Tinubu's rule must end in 2025. For the full report, the Vanguard newspaper is your guide.
Over now to the Nation newspaper, where it's Awujale predicted my President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday recalled with fondness how Awujale of Jabuland of Asika Tono, who joined his answer on July 13, predicted his victory in the 2023 election and added that he would win re-election in 2027. The president spoke in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, on the life and times of the departed traditional ruler during his 8th-day Fidel held at Dikpo Dinner Stadium, where dignitaries bade him final farewell. At the monarch's final resting place, the president meets before holding a meeting with the bereaved family during the. Awujale predicted my second-term victory, says Tinubu. That's we're all yet to see, I guess.
Yes, and still from the Vanguard. University of Lagos to reinstate a former lecturer, Mr. Bamisayo Olutola. Employment was terminated on July 6, 2021 over an allegation of sexual harassment. Delivering judgment in suit number NICN LA 441 2021, Justice E.H. Iwaneka held that the claimant's appointment as lecturer too was valid and subsisting, contrary to his claim. For the full report, the Vanguard is your guide.
And why Obi and El Rufai had not joined the ADC yet. Well, there's one here that says Obi is already planning to leave ADC. Kachiko, why? How do you something you're yet to join? In any case, a lot of speculations and stories are there. But let me take the story. Leave ADC. Kachiko. The 2023 presidential candidate of the African Democratic Party, Dumbi Kachiko, claims Peter Obi is already considering a move out of the ADC. Earlier in July, Obi, the party's presidential candidate in 2023, joined to launch the ADC as elections. This, calls to mind the issue of membership. Sexuality qualifies anybody to be a member of a party, not just by saying so. There are processes, there are steps that must be taken. So who is really a true APC as we speak? Because I don't quite understand how you can leave
his words. Okay, and 1 year after the Supreme Court judgment, workers threatened structural autonomy in Lagos in local government areas. The Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees (NOGE) has raised the alarm over a delay in implementing the Supreme Financial Autonomy to local government councils. The Attorney General of the Federation and Lateef Fagbemi, a senior of Nigeria, had on behalf of the federal government sued the 36 states over the manner the governors are running the local government funds. For the full report, the Leadership newspaper is your guide.
And back to The Guardian, there's a very interesting story this morning. IFA Council to sue Ogun government over Awujale's bail. The International Council for Ifa Religion, CIR, has plans to take legal action and the family of the late Awujale of Ijebuland, Asikiru Adetono, over alleged violations of traditional burial rites of Adetono, who passed away on Sunday, July 13, 2025, at the age of 91, was laid to rest according to rites. However, the ICIR has condemned the departure from established Yoruba customs that traditionally govern the burial of monarchs. The ICIR president, Dr. Fayemi Fatih Fakayode, and the council's legal representative, Ifashola Opeodu, who spoke during a media briefing at the weekend, described the bill as a breach of both tradition and the law. That's a story you'll find in The Guardian today, who are interested in that particular story. IFA Council to sue Ogun government over Awujale.
And still coming from the leadership newspaper, gratuity payment reintroduction for civil servants needs legal backing. As the National Pension Commission (PENCOM) considers the reintroduction of gratuity payment for civil servants under the Contributory Pension Scheme (CPS), a stakeholder has highlighted the need for robust legal backing to ensure the success of its initiative. The chairman, CEO, ACO Actuarial Services Limited, Dr. Pius Bere, were lauding the planned introduction of gratuity benefits for the federal government public servants under the CPS, noted that this decision must be backed by the law. For the full report, the leadership newspaper is your guide. And still coming from the leadership, inflation may spike again despite 3 months decline, analysts warn. Despite a 3-month streak of moderating inflation, economic analysts are cautioning that a resurgence in price growth may be on the horizon. An analysis of last week by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) shows the Consumer Price Index for June, which measures the rate at which price services rise, tempering for the third consecutive month. For the full report, consult the leadership newspaper.
All right, on to the Tribune for the next story this morning with the headline, ADC to Tinubu, where's the 24/7 electricity you promised Nigerians? That's coming from, and also there's another interesting story. Presidency in dilemma over Ganduje's successor. Well, neither here nor there, Ganduje was said to have retired due to ill health, but shortly thereafter, less than 2 weeks thereafter, what do we think and what do we believe?
That his health is stable now for any other engagement.
Yes, the program is still very much the newspaper review called Today in the Dailies, coming to you from 24 News Radio and Television at Doikiti. More stories are still coming your way after this time. I'll just stay with us. Glad to know you're still with us as we now move on to the next story for the day, and this time we're taking it from Sahara Reporters. That's the online publication of Sahara Reporters. The story here that says, Bauchi Governor's son, Samshuddin, bullies, threatens social media user who questioned his abuse of public funds. That's something that's very rampant in the political space in the country presently.
Sure.
Offspring of political personnel who have no bearing whatsoever in government, throwing their weight up and down. I wonder when that will stop. And now on to a very interesting story this morning of our reporters. I can't pass Nigerian citizens to my kids as a woman, yet Nigerians briefly stay in UK and become citizens, says Kemi Badenoch. Well, Kemi Badenoch seems to have a lot of garbage. I think some months back she was about her own Nigerian citizenship. So why should that of her children be an issue now?
Maybe because of the policies going on in the United States.
Well, they're telling her to get to who she really is and where she belongs. Them for that. Well, let's take a bit of that story. It says, Zakaria. Badenoch, who herself was born in Nigeria, launched a blistering critique of what she called the exploitation of tolerance in modern Britain. United Kingdom Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch has come down hard on the abuse of Britain's immigration system, warning that her party will no longer tolerate the creation of cultural enclaves and isolated communities that refuse to integrate into British society. Speaking in an interview with CNN's Fadi Zakaria, Badenoch, who herself was born in Nigeria, launched a blistering critique of what she termed the exploitation of tolerance in modern Britain. For more on that story, that's something you find in Sahara Reporters publication, or rather in the Sahara Reporters publication today.
And still coming from the leadership newspaper, CBN may hawkish stance as MPC holds 301st meeting. Ahead of the 301st meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) of the Central Bank of Nigeria to be held today and tomorrow, analysts anticipate a pause in monetary policy tightening, citing signs of macroeconomic economic stability and easing inflation measures following months of rate hikes to combat inflation and a volatile exchange rate. Key indicators suggest the worst may be over. Headline inflation, which had reached alarming high earlier this year, slowed for the third consecutive month, settling at 22.22% in June from 22.97% in May. For the full report, the leadership newspaper is your guide.
Right, on now to the Tribune. I did mention the headline earlier on, now I'll take the story. APC NEC, presidency in dilemma over Ganduje's successor. The story we're bringing to you from the Tribune this morning. And the story goes thus. Governors divided over NWC. Senators Al Makura, Dadi Gemade are contenders. Humanitarian Affairs Minister Yilwadda may join race. Former Nasarawa governor may lose out to religious consideration. These are people who have all been lined up to take up that esteemed position of the chairman of the All Progressives Congress. Ahead of Thursday's meeting of the National Executive Committee of the All Progressives Congress, NEC, the president was the likely successor to Abdullahi Ganduje, who resigned from the position recently. Multiple sources revealed to Sunday Tribune that the much-touted anointed choice, Senator Tanko Al-Makura, may lose out to religious consideration. Checks revealed that the NEC may on Thursday only ratify Deputy National Chairman North, Bukar Daluri's appointment as National Chairman in acting capacity, while it shops for substantive chairman ahead of a special convention to be held in December. That's the story coming to you from the Tribune this morning. APC NEC, presidency in dilemma over Ganduje's successor.
And from The Guardian, NIPR underscores need to guard Nigeria's reputation. President and Chairman of the Council Nigeria Institute of Public Relations (NIPR), Dr. Ike Neliako, had said that for too long Nigeria's image has been left unprotected, stressing the need for deliberate effort to manage the country's reputation globally. Speaking at the World PR Day and PR Power List Awards organized by G-Nations at the Mike Adenuga Center, Ikoyi, Lagos, Neliako noted that public relations must go beyond image building to long-term reputation management. For the full report, the Guardian newspaper is...
Well, our time is almost up this morning, so we'll move on to the foreign stories, and thereafter we'll be wrapping it up with sports. Grace.
Yes. An 8-year-old girl dies of hunger in Gaza as Israel throttles food supply. 4-year-old girl Razan Zah gave up her life. Her fight for life. She died at a hospital in central Gaza from complications brought on by hunger and malnutrition. According to a medical source, her skeletal body was laid out on a slab of stone. At least 76 children in Gaza have died of malnutrition since the conflict began in October 2023, as well as 10 adults, the Palestinian Health Ministry said. According to the World Health Organization, most of the records since Israeli authorities imposed in of March. I think Gaza strike is taking a toll on the country, the lives, the citizens in the place.
Absolutely, definitely. And it's a terrible thing, really.
Exactly.
Seems to be getting out of hand now.
Seems so.
Atlanta, they've been feeding the children on animal feeds for some time. That's most unfortunate.
Very. Okay. For the full report, the BBC is your guide, and this one's still coming from that area. The Israeli military has killed at least 67 people waiting for UN aid lorries in northern Gaza, the country's Hamas-run health ministry says. The UN World Food Programme said its 25-truck convoy encountered massive crowd of hungry civilians which came under gunfire soon after it crossed from Israel and cleared checkpoint. For the full report, the BBC is your guide. Israeli forces killed 67 Palestinians seeking aid in northern Gaza.
Stories from the Daily Post. There's one that says pre-season tour, Liverpool manager man squad full list, and transfer, Sporting in talks to sign Suarez as Man City prepares 16 million Costa. Well, let's now zero in on the story for the day, as I would like to think. And it says transfer leaves Galatasaray after club agrees deal for Osimhen. That's the Nigerian poster boy, Victor Osimhen. And that story is coming from the Daily Post this morning. Alvaro Morata is set to leave Galatasaray for Como. after the Turkish champions finally agreed a deal to sign Victor Osimhen from on a permanent basis. According to football transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, Morata's exit has been held delayed for over a month by negotiation. Over the past week, ironed out the fine details of the transfer for the Super Eagles star. Manuel wrote on X, Alvaro Morata now set forward from Galatasaray as all documents for Osimhen deal will be signed next week. Morata has been waiting for Como for 1 month and now all is set. Well, you win some, you lose some. I want to hope and believe that Osimhen has taken the best decision in the light of the present circumstances. You do recall the last time we were here, we were talking about the fact that his transfer was becoming a bit controversial. Now I decided to lay that to him, and good luck to Nigeria too.
Okay, and still coming from the foreign scene, this one says Japan's PM despite bruising election laws. Japan's ruling coalition has lost its majority in the country's upper house, but Prime Minister Shigeru has said he has to quit. Voters went to the polls on Sunday, being held at a time of frustration at the coalition of the Liberal Democratic Party (LDP) and its junior partner Komeito over rising and the threat of U.S. tariff. For the full report, the BBC is your guide.
Well, we want to believe we're done with Super Review this morning. Thanks so much for joining us, and don't forget to join us again on Wednesday morning, same time, same spot on your Android dial now, not your radio dial or television dial. Thanks so much for staying with us, and do remember to come along with us on our broadcast on Friday. I'm still very much thanking you for your time. Good morning, and for my colleague.
Great one. For do have a lovely Monday.
Lagos to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV.